fellas, look what the cat dragged in. We finally got this MBRP exhaust system going on this 7.3 Powerstroke on this OBS Ford. It's been a second since we've worked on this thing, but I'm super excited to get this exhaust system on this truck and hear what it sounds like. So that's our project today. There she is, a nice stainless steel exhaust system. There's instructions there, but are you really a man if you read them? So we'll throw those out right away and hopefully just plop this onto this truck. But there's a reason why I really wanted this exhaust upgrade, because the stock exhaust system is very restrictive on these trucks, and I'll show you what I mean. Big shout out to MBRP for supplying this stainless steel 4-inch turbo back exhaust system, which, by the way, does have a lifetime warranty, and as we'll find out later, does sound pretty freaking amazing. Anyone looking to upgrade their exhaust system, MBRP to give us a 10% off discount code, which is in the video description, so check them on out. And when I say restrictive, well, here's our turbo right back there, and you can see our exhaust coming off. It is basically a straight 90 into this weird looking Cobra type pipe, and once we get it out, I'll show you what I mean. Underneath the truck here, this is the exact same pipe. It's the turbo downpipe. Just look how thin that is, and yet it's super wide, kind of like a big pancake, really restrictive. So we're gonna get rid of that. Now, unlike gasoline engines, where there seems to be some pretty good arguments that back pressure is needed to have a well-running engine, turbo diesel engines, the more air or exhaust you can push out of that exhaust system, aka the more free-flowing the exhaust system can be, the more power you're gonna make. And well, we got a 4-inch turbo back exhaust kit from MBRP, so we're gonna really open this engine up, which I'm excited about. Before we get on the tools here, I did take a couple clips of the stock exhaust system just so we could compare at the end of the video. So I'll play that right now. It actually doesn't really sound that bad, but for me, what's really important is opening up this exhaust system so we can flow more exhaust and more power when the time comes. Next, where the fun really begins, we're gonna have to take this clamp off the back of the turbo. We actually have to reuse this, this V-band clamp. And then we're gonna try and feed this downpipe through, but we probably are gonna have to cut it to get it out, but we'll play that by ear. Now these V-band clamps, there's 3 sort of mating areas, and you just need to hit them just a little bit with the pry bar, and they usually just pop off. So that's what we're gonna try and do here. Well, after some fighting, got that downpipe off. Here it is right here. So you can see why it's kind of like the Cobra pipe, if you will. So it starts off, I think it's a 3-inch pipe, but that's where I ended up having to cut it. Look how thin this thing gets. Just, yeah. exhaust gases coming off the turbo and then immediately into a 90 and then flatten out like this, it's a huge restriction. So just changing this downpipe out alone is going to eliminate a ton of that restriction and get this engine much more free flowing. And well, she's gonna sound pretty good too. And this is our new one. It's a 3-inch downpipe, but just, it's not as harsh coming right off the turbo. And well, obviously we're not squishing the exhaust like this one is. Now, the tricky part with this is, well, there's not much space, and that's why Ford ended up using that really squishy narrow pipe, because there's not much room. So what we have to do is kind of finagle this baby down. We're probably gonna have to punch out some of that firewall or bend it out and get this downpipe down in there. All right, we got that pipe in where she needs to be. I thought this would be a 10-minute job. Turned out to be about, well, a lot longer than that. I'll bring you underneath here. Oh, to see what fun we were having under here. So yeah, we bent back some of this pinch weld, which is the cab and the floor there. Shaved off a little bit of this off the transmission. And, you know, I'm not going to say she slid in, but we forcefully brought this pipe in, and well, here she is. We are actually going to reuse this this resonator here, but she's a little bit more free flowing. I'll leave it at that. And it just makes it a little bit easier with this kit to reuse this. Now it's time to do some measurements here. So I broke the instructions out. I know, how dare I, but apparently with the shorter wheelbase, with the regular cab, 133 inches, which I actually did measure and that is correct, we need a little bit of a stubby piece here. We need 6 inches and 3/8 worth of this extension pipe, which I have gone ahead and cut. So we're gonna mount that up there, and then next, I believe, we need the muffler, and that should be it. And it should be at a decent length according to the beautiful instructions. We'll see if the instructions let us down or not. Sorry, when I say muffler, it's actually not really a muffler. It's more of a resonator. It's straight through, as you guys can see. It might dampen the sound a little bit, but for me, again, as I've mentioned before, this exhaust kit was more for flow than actual sound, and this thing is gonna be flowing really nice. Might as well get them all going the same direction. Make it look pretty. The muffler's sort of mounted. I think what I might have to do, I think I cut this actually a little bit too short. The instructions were wrong, clearly not my own doing. But I think we might get, because this clamp here that's gonna go there isn't gonna be able to, it might, well, the exhaust gases might leak out of these little slits here just a little bit. So I might go and get a banjo clamp, which is much wider, and it'll actually just seal this up a little better so you won't have much leakage. But I think we're gonna be okay with this. And well, for the best part, fellas, putting on this nice chrome tip, I think it's gonna look pretty good. Hopefully sound good too. I also think that's a pretty darn good placement. I don't think it sticks out too bad. I think it's actually really good. I've always hated exhaust work, and I realize why I hate exhaust work. Fuck you, bitch. not my flavor. All right. Let's fire this thing up and see what she sounds like, boys. And check to see how many exhaust leaks I have. Probably a couple. That sounds pretty freaking good. Not gonna lie. Well, other than getting my new jeans dirty, I think that was a success. We did fight a little bit with the exhaust system, but I think that was more on me. Exhaust work is not my forte, but I love the way this exhaust system sounds. You can really hear that turbo whistle, and ideally when we do upgrade the turbo, we're gonna have an even greater whistle. And the engine itself is already very loud on this 7.3. It's got that iconic diesel knock, but when you hear that turbo whistle in the background, it's just glorious, especially when you hit boost. I think it sounds really, really good. Some of you guys may be yelling at me to rip that resonator off as well as the muffler, but like I mentioned, that resonator, she is very free-flowing at this point, and that muffler, as I pointed out, is just a complete straight shot going right through. So I don't think it's gonna really impact the sound that much. And as I mentioned, the idea of putting this exhaust system on this truck was, first of all, to have better flow. When we do put a new turbo on there, maybe some new injectors, a tune, we can build some better power. Secondly was obviously the noise or the turbo sound, which I really wanted to hear, and I'm happy that we can. So I think all in all, it was a success. As always, if you did like the video, don't forget to leave that thumbs up. Let me know what else you want to see get done to this truck. I'm open to ideas. I know these videos tend not to get as many views, but I don't really care because this truck continues to steal my heart day in and day out. I love this thing, and I'm going to continue to be dumping content sporadically on this thing. So look forward to that because I certainly am. Anyways, guys, enough of me. We'll see you on the next freaking video.